What can you do right now to help you fight and prevent the possible development of Alzheimer's, dementia, or Parkinson's, or any other type of brain disease that may come along? Well, you remember, if you watched my past video, I talked about how we lose millions of brain cells every single day. Just by waking up and talking, we lose brain cells. And what happens is if we add more stress to our brain, we can actually lose more. But what researchers have discovered is that it's not necessarily the number of brain cells that we have that make us smart or function better. It's the number of connections we have, the connections between the brain cells that make things work better. Now, we lose those connections as well. And what happens is, with brain diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's, those connections are interfered with. They're interfered with by something called protein aggregation. In other words, protein or waste builds up in your brain, and that waste interferes with the connections, which makes them slower or not work at all, which can actually impact our thinking, our memory, our movements, our expressions, our emotions, all that type of stuff. So, if you can figure out how to improve that protein aggregation, reduce the amount of impact, improve those connections, what would you do about it? Well, researchers have discovered a very wonderful substance in your brain called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. That's a big word, and it's as important as it is big. We'll call it BDNF for short. Now, BDNF is a wonderful substance that your brain produces. What it does is that actually causes an increase in connections, an increase in something called plasticity. In other words, plasticity in your brain means that you can learn more, learn better. That's what it does, okay? And our brain produces it. Now, if you were to say, okay, sign me up, I'm going to take this BDNF to help my brain. Well, unfortunately, there's nothing we can take, nothing we can eat or whatever that has this BDNF in it. Only your brain can produce it. And how does it do that? Well, there's something that you can do every single day, and it'll only take 3 to 5 minutes a day, that actually can improve the concentration or increase this BDNF. Now, what is it? Simply, it's high intensity exercise. Now, I want you to understand something. It doesn't mean you have to join a gym, work out 3-4 hours a day, sweating every minute. That's not what it is, okay? High intensity exercise is that, but what happens is, to achieve the level or to increase the amount of BDNF, you don't have to do that much work. And in fact, if you do too much, you cause problems for your brain, something called overtraining syndrome. So for someone who has a desk job, drives to work every day, goes home, eats, goes to bed, watches TV, you need to find some way of increasing the BDNF in your brain to help your brain remain healthy. Now, how would you do that? So the difference between, let's say for instance, an activity and the high intensity exercise is great. So let's talk about what an activity is. Going for a walk is an activity. Walking your dog is an activity. Working on the tool shed or working on the car is an activity. It's not an exercise. So even though you're doing those things and being active, that doesn't mean you're increasing the BDNF. Okay? So what is high intensity exercise? And I'm going to tell you what you can do every single day, if you'd like every day. You don't have to do it every day. That will actually help the BDNF increase in your brain. So in the morning, or any time of the day that you find comfortable for you, that you feel that you have more energy and more active, you actually do an intense exercise. And that, what I mean is either bike ride, running in place, running up and down the stairs, going for a really fast walk, anything that increases your heart rate dramatically and is really hard for you to do, but you're going to do it for at least 2 to 3, 4 minutes. As hard as you can go. So walk as fast as you can, run as fast as you can, bike as fast as you can, do the elliptical as fast as you can, run up and down the stairs as fast as you can for at least 3 to 4 minutes, or better yet, because it matches you to the point where you feel like you can't do it anymore. So if you're really working hard, you should only be able to do it for about a minute or two, as hard as you can. And then what you do is you do a little bit more. In other words, 30 seconds, 40 seconds more. So here you are, let's say you're riding a bike or running in place really hard, and you say, I can't do any more. You do a little bit more, and then you stop. And that's it. That increases the BDNF in your brain. Fascinating, isn't it? So if you take, in the morning, at lunchtime, when you get home from work, whatever, 3 to 5 minutes a day, you can actually help your brain clean itself out, increase the connections, help you learn better, think better. All those types of things will actually be a benefit for you and your brain. Remember, to live longer, eat better, and be active better. Thank you.